2019 Royal Retreat is now in the bag, and I would love to share with you guys the entire experience, what we did, what it was like, especially if you're considering coming on the retreat next year, because 2020 is going to be even bigger, even better. And each year I get so excited to host the Royal Retreat. It's one of my absolute favorite things that I do in my business. I designed the Royal Retreat to be like super top posh, so much more vivid and bright than any normal typical vacation. So I want to share with you guys the whole start to finish so you can see exactly what the 2019 Royal Retreat was like, especially if you'd like to join us for an upcoming retreat. Okay, so the first thing that is important to understand is that I handle everything. So after you pay for your retreat ticket, the only other thing you have to pay for is your flight. I handle your transportation from the airport. I handle all of your food. I handle one surprise excursion, as well as getting you back to the airport. So the idea is that once you get there, you can just relax and enjoy the royal treatment. And that's essentially what everyone was able to do. So the first thing that happened is we got picked up at the airport by a Lux Transportation member. Lux Transportation was awesome. We did our trip this year in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, and Lux Transportation handled all the transportation coming from the airport as well as heading back to the airport. They picked everybody up in a Cadillac. They gave us nice towels for our hands and some little Mexican chocolates when we were in the car. Offered some pleasant conversation along the way, gave us some nice icy bottles of water, and got us to our location exactly where we needed to be. Then the next thing was I had my assistant that was there, and she welcomed everyone into the house as we all were coming in, made sure to tip the drivers, and everyone came in and had an opportunity to partake in some snacks. So I set up a couple of snacks. So typically I will arrive around a day or two before to make sure that our location is ready, make sure that we have the house stocked with food and drinks and everything that we need. And so I set up a couple snacks. As you can see, I had some grapes laid out and some fruit and some of those cute little chips that are like the sweet potato chips and those things that look really good on camera, honestly, and they actually taste really good. And so that they can come in, get relaxed, and get ready for the next piece, which is the private chef. We hired Chile Verde, Tona of Chile Verde, as our private chef. He came while we were there. So the couple days we were there, he did 2 meals per day, with the exception of the first day and the last day. He did a dinner on the first day. So we had a Mexican fiesta. We had a tasting of tequilas and mezcal along with each meal that came out. And then the next 2 days he did brunch and dinner. And then on the final day, he just did a brunch to close us out. We had amazing meals, and I want to share with you guys some of the meals that we had. Oh my gosh, they were awesome. They were so good. We had tacos one day, and we had the Mexican fiesta. We had shrimp and rice. We had pork. We had all sorts of good stuff, breakfast burritos and fruit platters, and the food was just really, really delicious. It's one of my favorite parts of the retreat, simply because when you are working and you're working hard, you don't have to worry about stopping to cook something or stopping to go out to eat or stopping to order something. You really want to be able to just sit down what you're doing, go eat, and then get right back to it. And that's how we maximize our time at the Royal Retreat. I want to make sure that we're not doing a whole lot of transitions. I really want us to like get in, get out, and have the time to workshop. And I'm going to talk about all the workshops and things that we did in just a second. All right, and then the final thing that we did was we had a surprise group excursion. So I'm going to talk about that in a second. So let's go on the first day. So the first day was arrival day, and we started with doing some mindset work. I like to start all of my events, all of my programs, my coaching, my courses, everything with mindset work, because I truly believe that mindset underlies everything. It's what makes all of this work. It's what allows you to keep going, to believe in yourself, having that confidence, knowing that you can do it, and flushing out all of the fears and doubts and frustrations and things that could prevent you from fully getting the most out of the experience. So we always start with mindset work. Typically there are a couple of tiers, and there were a couple of tiers this time around as well. And it's simply because you have the space, and it feels more freeing to be in an environment with other women who are working on their business and who could potentially be in the same area of life as you as well. And so there were lots of conversations, not just about business, but there were conversations about relationships, about money, about health, and they really got a chance to bond. And that's essentially why we do that on the first day. So we do mindset, and we have some icebreaker games and give everybody a chance to bond. Okay, so the next thing that we did was on the next day, I let everyone sleep in. So I said, don't worry about setting an alarm. You can sleep in. And I gave them the opportunity to head down to the beach. And I said, if you'd like to go down to the beach, we'll have beach time until around 11. And go down to the beach, enjoy it, play in the waves. And that's exactly what we did. So I woke up a little bit later, honestly, than everyone else. I was surprised because I thought I was up relatively early, but around 7:30 they were already down there. We had a chance to do a couple of boomerangs on the beach, and really just chatted. We had some beach chairs, and we just sat down and we watched the sunrise. We had a chance to play in the waves. I did a couple cartwheels and we took a group shot that I'll show you right now also. So it was just a really good opportunity, once again, for that balance of fun and play and work, where you're building a business that you don't need to take a vacation from because it's all kind of included together. After we got done playing in the beach, playing on the waves and in the sand, we got back to the house and we started on our first session, which was all about offers. So we talked about creating offers, and the way that I structure the curriculum and decide on what we're actually going to cover is very customized. So I look at who is going to be at the retreat and what they need for their business. And then essentially I create groups and customize the content based on who is going to be there. But in general, I'll typically be talking about the same things, which are creating irresistible offers, marketing and selling those offers, and creating the systems that make it easy to do this on an ongoing basis. Because that's essentially what I teach. I teach marketing, online marketing in particular, and how to sell your product and service and get clients on an ongoing basis with those systems. So that's essentially what we did on the first day. Then towards the end of the day, everyone stayed up and they decided to have like a pajama work party, and I went to bed early, but they stayed up and continued working on what they wanted to do. I also set some of the ladies up with my camera equipment so that they could start recording some video, and really the goal during the retreat is to have that hands-on project so that by the time you're done, by the time you leave the retreat, you can say, this is what I created during the retreat. So then the next thing that we did was that night, actually, let me go back, because what we did that night is we ended with an evening photo shoot. So this photo shoot, our photographer actually came on the retreat. She was a retreat participant this time as well. And she takes amazing photos. So I will show you the process of her taking those photos and a couple of the photos that she took. Her name is Keisha, Short Stuff Photography, and she did an amazing job with the women. I'm so excited and delighted by all the pictures that came out. So we do our photo shoot so that we can have photos to bring back and also have that tangible piece from the retreat. Then we had the next day where we woke up and then we got to work on webinars. So we talked about webinars, we talked about launch planning, we talked about email, and all the things that go into getting people in the door. Okay, that night we decided to have like a little dance party. So we actually just hung out in the villa versus going out to like a club or something like that. And we just played some music and we just kind of had a little dance party there in the upstairs balcony area. And every year is a little bit different. So the first year we went to a restaurant and we had a salsa lesson, and we had a private instructor to teach us how to salsa. And this year we had a different surprise excursion, but everyone still wanted to dance. So likely in the upcoming years, we will always have some sort of dancing part to it, just because it's really fun to like move your body. It's very freeing and it helps you to free up blocked and stuck energy. So we'll likely continue to have some sort of dancing component, even if it's just like, something we do just as a group or just together. And then on the final day, we did systems. I always leave this to the end because it's it can be overwhelming, and systems are everything that you need to make all of these pieces run. So some of the ladies needed websites, some of them needed website updates, some of them needed specific tools, email stuff, and so we took that morning to just set up and work on systems. Now, I will say one thing, which is typically when you're on an island, or if you're in a tourist area and you're not in a major city of another country, it's likely that the Wi-Fi is not going to be as fast. And so this is something that I consider, but I think I need to consider it a little bit more, because trying to implement a lot of these systems when the Wi-Fi is just a little bit slower than what you're used to, and you feel like you've gone back in time, it can be really frustrating, especially if tech is already frustrating. So I will likely do the systems piece on a recap call or something directly after the retreat, once everybody is back and has access to their much faster Wi-Fi. But I still feel like we got a lot accomplished, and I was able to essentially get them started and get them set up and going. And one participant who she got a piece of her system set up, it allowed her to start making sales every day, whereas before people were kind of coming in here and there. But I was able to help her set up a system where now all of a sudden she's making sales every single day, and that was something we set up during the retreat. So I'll have her on a success call soon, and she'll be able to talk more about that. But I think it's just really cool as far as when you're on the retreat and you can have the time to just sit down and do those specific things. So the last thing that we did was we closed out with a surprise excursion, and I told them the evening before where we were going, but we decided to go to Explore, and we did the Fuego evening experience, and we had a chance to zip line, we had a chance to ride ATVs, and we had an amazing time. It was so much fun there, and we didn't realize we were going to be ziplining into the water, but it was really, really cool. We just had a really good time, and I think the retreat as a whole really showed them the balance of business and fun. Like, you absolutely can create a business that you don't need a vacation from. You absolutely can have fun. You absolutely can do a workcation, enjoy yourself, and still get a lot done. Even though our official work hours were only from like 12 to 6 on most days, or like 12 to 5, we got a lot done in that time frame because they didn't have any distractions. They didn't have to stop and take care of kids, or stop and make food for themselves, or stop and like go to the gym. Like, we had a lot of activity built in. We still had a lot of body movement built in, so that for the people who were scared they weren't going to get a chance to work out, we actually did a bike ride one day for a couple of the people who wanted to go on a bike ride. So we had a lot of stuff packed into that couple of days, and I'm really excited to host the next retreat. Who actually comes on the retreat? In general, these are my top clients. These are clients that I've worked with either one-on-one, or they worked with me in my mastermind or in one of my lower level courses. However, they have the right energy. They have the energy of a go-getter, of an action taker, of someone who is absolutely going to be successful and wants to get there as quickly as possible. And those are the types of clients that come onto the retreat. They like that hands-on help. They like the ability to write off a vacation, right? To be able to write off that time away, since we do vacation and we travel in like a really, really nice area. They want to be able to workcation, essentially. So we do a workcation. If you'd like more information on the Royal Retreat and maybe you're interested in coming with us, then you definitely want to check out the link that's inside of the description. I will share more details about the retreat. There's an entire page that has all of the details there. I would love to speak with you more if you'd like to come with us and see if you're a good fit. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye.